Welcome to the Manifestation Babe podcast. My name is Catherine Zinkina, and I'm a manifestation expert, master mindset coach, and multiple seven-figure entrepreneur. I'm obsessed with helping you achieve everything that you once thought was impossible. If you're looking to massively up-level your life, your finances, your relationships, your productivity and success, then you have come to the right place. My goal in this podcast is to help you see the infinite potential within yourself to be, do, and have anything that your heart desires. Think of this podcast as your weekly dose of mindset development to help you maximize who you are and where you're going. Leave it to me to provide you with the tools, the resources, the strategies, and teachings that you need to manifest a reality wilder than your wildest dreams. I know we're about to have so much fun together, so thank you so much for pushing play today, and now let's begin. Hello, gorgeous souls, and welcome back to the Manifestation Babe podcast. I hope you guys are having an amazing day today because I, for one, had a very interesting start to this morning. I literally set off the fire alarm to my entire building this morning from, guess what? My incense and my sage that I light every single morning. And I don't know why there was literally not even an ounce of smoke more than there normally is. And all of a sudden, you know, that high screech sound coming from your smoke alarm, like the worst sound in the world, it like literally makes you deaf, or at least go deaf for the length of time that it's going off. Well, I swear, I thought we would have to evacuate the whole building. I thought people would be freaking out. And I'm like over here being like, it's just smoke. I'm so sorry. And then my smoke alarm literally started giving off that beep afterwards that it had a low battery. And you guys know that annoying sound. It like comes once every 30 seconds and it's like beep. Beep. And I remember that happening actually last year to another smoke alarm in my living room. And this is when Brennan and I just moved into this new condo, and we didn't know exactly like how things worked, where things were. And so we're just figuring out like, okay, how does this smoke alarm work? And we couldn't figure it out for such a long time. So I decided to make some recordings, and specifically meditations, not manifestations, meditations and hypnoses for my students. And I literally hid in a closet to record them, like at least 3 rooms away from the smoke alarm. And I had students who I swear they have like hypersensitive hearing. And they're like, does anyone hear a beep? Like the beep is so distracting. And oh my God, long story short, I had to fix it. I had to re-record everything. And today when that started happening, I'm like, I am not going to record this podcast with beeping in the background, because the DMs and the emails that I'm going to get asking for me to re-record these episodes, especially, you know, with the topic that I'm talking about this morning on this episode, I'm not going to redo it. Like, I'm not going to be a perfectionist. I'm not going to redo it. So we're going to do this right. So Brennan and I scavenged through the whole apartment, and you know, those batteries like that you don't typically have every day. It's like, this one's it's called a 9V, or you have like a DC, or I don't know the names. I'm making them up, but you know, like it's not just a AA or AAA. It's some like complex battery that you only buy like once in a lifetime when your smoke alarm starts going off. So we somehow found one that the previous owners of this condo, because we're renting it from someone, we don't own it, they had a battery in this like storage place between my office and the living room. And so finally, I'm like, today's the day I'm recording podcast episodes, okay? Because today's topic is such an important one, you guys. It slapped me like a ton of bricks. And I don't even think I said the expression right. It hit me like a ton of bricks. And so yesterday I had a team meeting, as I always do, Monday morning meeting at 9 a.m. My team we do a full team meeting. And then once a month we started doing a book club, which if you aren't doing a book club with your team, if you have a business and you have a team, even if it's a team of 1 or 2 people, do a book club and have them read like leadership books or business books or accountability books or management books or personal growth books or anything that would help the entire team work better together, because it's been insane just how transformational this book club has been so far. This is actually Londa's entire idea. So thank you so much, Londa, if you're listening to this. She is basically the woman who runs the company of Manifestation Babe. She's our integrator. And it was her idea. And it's just been such like a beautiful integration of personal growth into every single team member's lives, where they're not just getting used to the Manifestation Babe content, but they're also consuming content from other people and not just bettering themselves in our business, you know, as employees of the business, but actually their entire lives, which has been working out so beautifully. But anyway, that's beside the point, of course, always going off on a tangent. So Monday morning, we had a team meeting, and in the team meeting, my brand strategist, who I love so much, she mentioned casually that we have not been posting as much as she thinks that we are capable of, which is so true. And for the longest time, you guys, I have had this belief that I am the only one who can do it myself when it comes to my two favorite platforms, my podcast and my Instagram. And I have been releasing this I can only do it myself mindset around my podcast, because I've been inviting people to come on the podcast, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the interviews. There's going to be still solo podcasts, so don't worry. I got some DMs from people being like, Catherine, we missed your solo podcast. Please bring them back. And then I'll have people who DM me and they're like, oh my God, Catherine, I love the interviews. So amazing. A great shift in your podcast. And it's like, oh my God, you can't make you can't make everybody happy, right? So I just want you guys to know that there's going to be plenty of solo podcasts, because of course I just love to sit here and chat with you guys. And then obviously there's going to be interviews, and we have some really awesome people coming on, you guys. And I'm also going to be reaching out to some really freaking awesome people. I feel like I'm transforming into Oprah, and I'm going to be interviewing these amazing, like big people in the spiritual realm. And I'm just so thrilled about it. But anyway, so I've been letting go of the podcast thing. However, I will share more about my podcast that I've been struggling with. But with my Instagram, like, holy shit. My team has been asking if they can help me, like, just pull quotes, you know, or just pull some content that I've done in the past, like that I've hidden on Facebook, you know, a few years ago, or that is hidden in my emails. Cause, and you guys say this all the time, like your emails, Catherine, are just so jam-packed with value. Like they're so great. And so very easily I can pull stuff from my emails and put them into my Instagram content. However, I've gotten into this place where I can only do it myself, right? And if it's not fresh content, if it's not new content, I can't post it. And I just got stuck in a rut where first of all, I got sick last week. I don't like to call it getting sick. I like to call it getting well. I learned that from the shamans at Rhythmia. They've helped me so much with that. It's been such a powerful mindset shift that when you are feeling sick, it's actually a sign that your body's getting well, because your body already got sick and now it's releasing the sick, whatever that sick might be, right? Cold, flu, whatever. And now it's getting well. And so while I was getting well this week, I had no creative energy, and I've been putting all my creative energy into other projects. Like, for instance, the Manifestation Babe Academy. There is a 31-day ritual guidebook that I was making for my students, and it turned out to be like a 22-page document. It is like long AF, and I loved creating it so much. But of course, every single thing that I do outside of Instagram and podcasts is taking me away from my podcast and Instagram. And so here's what I realized, you guys. I had a freaking breakthrough. And it's wild that this didn't hit me earlier, because yesterday during our book club meeting and during our team meeting, my team members were talking about how much the perfectionism episode resonated with them with Sam Brown, which is the episode that aired right before this episode. It's episode number 129. It's been one of the top download episodes. I highly recommend it to you guys. It's just so funny how even though I did the interview with Sam, it just like this part of my life just didn't click for me. And I don't know if you know this feeling of like, when you have a breakthrough, you're like, are you freaking kidding me? This is so obvious. Why didn't I notice this before? Why didn't anyone point this out to me? Like, how did I really? I didn't see this. I didn't notice this. So I felt like that yesterday. But finally, after everybody shared their struggle with perfectionism, and my team brought this up, like, Catherine, we can help you with your Instagram. Like, please let us help you. It's not going to take away from your content. Like, it's still going to be you. It's still going to be your content. You're going to be the one posting it, but let us just give you captions that you can run with. Let us give you some quotes that you can run with. So you're not making this up every day. You're not opening up Canva and creating quote graphics that I do every single day. Like, let us use your old content to help you create new content. And finally, I was like, holy shit, you guys. And I want to put this out there. I want to finally admit it, guys. I have been a perfectionist with my two most successful platforms, my podcast and my Instagram. And I have been sabotaging myself by not keeping myself consistent with them lately. And I don't know if you've noticed, but like, I don't know really what it is. It could just be that like I'm in a season of just more of a quiet rest right now, because I was very like, ever since I came home from Rhythmia, I've been like, go, 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 go. Let's do this, do this, do this. And there's a lot that's happening constantly behind the scenes that you guys are not even seeing. And I wish I could take you with me everywhere, but it's like, we have these meetings and these ideas, and there's a lot that's being done this year. This year is really a foundational year where a lot of what we're working on this year, you won't even see till next year. And so it's not like I'm not doing anything. It's not like I'm just chilling over here on the side. But I've noticed finally yesterday that I've been sabotaging myself because I have been waiting for the perfect conditions. Meaning, if it's not like 8 a.m. in the morning, and I'm not creative enough, and my coffee, my mushroom coffee that I make, isn't the perfect temperature, and I have to feel awake enough, and I have to get the 8 hours of sleep that I need in order to channel my utmost creativity. I have to make sure I meditate for 20 minutes. Like, I had all of these rules and regulations and conditions that I needed in order for me to write an Instagram post or for me to create a podcast, which, guys, my podcast, the note section of my podcast, like I have a folder on my note section. Like if you have a MacBook or iPhone, you know that the two connect. And so I'm constantly working, and I store so much information here. And my podcast folder is filled with ideas. It's filled with so many podcast episodes that I've never even recorded, because the idea will come, the perfect conditions will not come, right? Because I'm waiting for the perfect conditions. And then I never end up recording it, because by the time that inspiration, goes away, I look at the episode and I'm like, what did I want to say about this? Like, why was this so important? And it's just not clicking for me. And I realized that I am so afraid of disappointing myself and others that I create excuses for myself. And I've noticed that the reason why I haven't been as consistent with my podcast and with my Instagram is because I feel like if my content isn't worthy of being a top TED Talk, right, or winning some sort of award, then I might as well not even post it, not even say it, not even record it. It's like I fell into this trap subconsciously, not even seeing it, even though now it's so obvious. Like, are you kidding me? Where I developed the all or nothing mindset when it came to this. And it's because I have had so much success with these two platforms, guys. The podcast grew so fast. I think we're over 3 million downloads right now with just 129 episodes, or 130 now, which is just it's almost unheard of. It's always in the top charts. I don't think there's been a single week where my podcast has not been in the top 100. Most of the time it's in the top 50. And my following grew really quickly too for how long I've been doing Manifestation Babe. And yet I have essentially, Sam Brown, if you guys haven't listened to the episode, she talks about how perfectionism leads to procrastination, because you keep putting off something that you feel like it needs to be perfect. And perfectionism is just a strategy of avoiding shame. And so I realized that I've gotten to this place of feeling like I've been so successful with these two platforms that now everything has to be perfect. Sorry, guys, my dog is barking in the background. Actually, it's my mom's dog. I'm babysitting him for a week. So if you hear some barking, that's him. But I've fallen into this trap of perfectionism, and I've been just avoiding the shame of being like, what if I create an episode and it flops? Or what if I create a post on Instagram and it doesn't get as many likes, right? Like crazy talk, total ego, total ego measurements. Like, who cares how many likes it gets or downloads? As long as I am affecting people's lives in a positive way, that's why I even started this podcast in the first place. That's why I even started my Instagram in the first place, is to help people, not to be perfect. And it's become so debilitating to me, guys, that it's actually started to affect my business. And I don't mean like literally affect my business, because it's not like there hasn't been like a decrease financially or within the results that I'm getting, but it's more of an energetic debilitation. What I mean by that is, like, I have lost my creativity when it comes to my podcast and Instagram from time to time, because I keep getting myself into this trap of perfectionism. And then I've been able to pull myself out, right? But I didn't know why. I didn't know the root of it. So therefore, when I tried to pull myself out, I'd be like, oh, it's because I'm inspired now, right? I shared an episode, guys, about how I was feeling uninspired and how I regained that inspiration back by choosing to tune into those feelings of what it would be like to feel inspired. And it worked, and it helped me so much. And in fact, I still feel inspired about my business. I didn't wait for the perfect conditions to come for me to receive inspiration to start the projects that I've currently started. And I can't wait to record an episode of how you guys can actually get involved in one of my projects, which is going to be so good. Can't wait to record that. I will record that soon. I just need to put together a couple more things with my team, just to make sure that I'm actually going to say the right things to you guys and not confuse anyone. But anyway, so it's just been debilitating me. And now I feel like I finally got the root. Sam Brown's podcast spoke to all of you guys on such a deep level. And it's almost like the lesson didn't necessarily go through me, because I felt like I was not a perfectionist. I felt like I had been in the past, but I was like, no, I grew my business by being imperfect. I grew my business by being authentic. People tell me that all the time. I don't have a problem with perfectionism. I've worked through that. And all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, I need to go back to that episode. Like, I need to do work around this. And I know that I'm literally keeping golden nuggets away from you guys, because in my daily conversations with my friends or with my team, or like random people that I somehow end up coaching. Like, this happens to me all the time, where I'm on an airplane, I get to know somebody, they tell me their life story, and then I end up coaching them, encouraging them, motivating them, and then they end up changing their life and coming and like getting back to me being like, Catherine, the conversation we had, it was so divine. This is what happened ever since we had that conversation. I guess that's when I discovered that I was meant to do this work, is because that's been happening to me like since I was like 16 years old, since I came across The Secret and couldn't keep my mouth shut. I was like, everybody needs to read this book. So in these conversations, people are like, Catherine, that's a podcast. Like with my friends all the time, I will talk about a topic and they'll be like, Catherine, is that a podcast? Like, you need to record that. And I'm like, really? Are you sure? Like, that's so basic. Or someone else would be like, Catherine, that's a quote for your Instagram. You have to talk about that. You have to post about it. It's so good. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is basic knowledge. And then I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, Catherine? How is this basic knowledge? It's basic knowledge to you because you've been living it for such a long time. But at some point, this is not basic knowledge to you. At some point, you were stuck in the matrix, thinking that the world worked a certain way according to what society says about how the world works. And now you're not like that. But yet you're keeping golden nuggets away from people because you think that everyone already knows this knowledge. I don't know if you can relate to this as like an expert in your field. I know that this is such like it's almost like a double-edged sword of being a quote unquote expert, where you have so much knowledge to give, but then you are so used to your own knowledge that you don't even recognize that so many people out there don't even have that knowledge. And then therefore you end up not sharing it. And like, basically you have this knowledge, and what is this knowledge for really? Once it changes your life, you are obligated to help other people and change their lives with that knowledge. I just think that that's the obligation of this energy flow, right? Like, why would you keep secrets? There's actually a quote in a book I read yesterday. I believe it was by Viana Stibble, who's the creator of Theta Healing. And she says that the best kept secrets are the ones that are shared with the world, or something like that. And I love that, because a secret is kept when everybody knows it, when it's shared with everyone. That's how the secret is kept. And of course you can be like, well, Catherine, it's not a secret anymore. But I don't believe in secrets, right? I believe that we should just be open books with each other and help people. And so I'm constantly procrastinating, you guys, because I think that what I have to say is not good enough. And therefore, as Sam Brown says, a strategy to avoid the shame of possibly failing. And I wanted to record this episode with you guys because I'm about to record like a million more. I actually have my team coming over today to, two of the team members that I took to Morocco last week to record an episode about manifesting your dream job, which I'm really excited about. So I've obviously gotten into this flow now, or at least I've gotten to the root of what's been preventing this flow. So we'll see how things unfold. I have faith in my discovery. I have faith in my breakthrough. I know that it's been such a shift for me ever since yesterday. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are so right. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't see it before. But anyway, I wanted to share this episode with you guys and admit it to you because I wanted to get it off my shoulders, first of all, because this is how I process sometimes, is by talking it out. And then I also want to show you that we all, regardless of who we are, regardless of what we've accomplished, regardless of how successful we are, how much money we have, et cetera, that we all sabotage in the craziest of ways. And I, for some reason, unconsciously, thought that I had to be perfect in order to share my brain, my life, and my stories with you. It all comes down to this, you guys. Perfect was not how I got here. And it really isn't. Like when people, okay, so this is something that makes me giggle and kind of drives me crazy, is when I share something that's polarizing on my platforms and I get a message from someone or a comment of someone being like, Catherine, it is irresponsible for someone with such a large following to share such a thing. Like you have an obligation to, you have to be very careful with what you say because you have so many followers now. And I laugh because that's such bullshit. First of all, that's called censorship. And number two, the reason why I have this following, the reason why I have this success, the reason why I have all these people listening to me is because I unapologetically share even my most polarizing of opinions, right? My most polarizing of perspectives. I don't care if people agree with me or not. I'm going to share it anyway. And I don't care if it's perfect or not, right? Most of the time, right? So, because obviously I still have some work to do, but like if something helps me and I want to share it with the world, even if I get like a little part of it wrong, like who cares, right? It's everybody's responsibility to do their own research for themselves. If you're just blindly listening to other people, then you got some work to do because I just want to remind you that kind of thinking or that kind of blind listening to other people is what keeps you susceptible to taking money advice from broke people or love advice from people who are unhappy and single or health advice from people who are sick, et cetera, et cetera. So I'd be very, very careful with that. And perfect is not how I got here, and perfect is not where I'm going, and it's not going to help me grow. So I wanted to invite you guys to just re-listen to that episode number 129, and do an honest analysis. Like sometimes you have to hear something 1,000 times, right? So go back again. And I want you to do an honest analysis on whether this rings true for you too. Is there an area of your life where you keep holding off on something, or you keep waiting for the perfect conditions, or you keep waiting for the sign, right, that you're meant to do it right now, or whatever it is, whatever perfectionist quality that you might have in regards to an area of life. And I want you to finally let that go. But in order for you to let it go, you have to first find it, admit to it, right? Be very, very honest with yourself, and then let it go. And when you're done listening to this episode, as well as episode 129, I want you to take a screenshot and share with me your takeaways and let me know what you guys found. Let me know if you can resonate with this. Let me know if what I shared with you guys today really spoke with you. And as always, I am still giving you guys a hypnosis, a free manifestation hypnosis, just for leaving a review of the podcast. I'm looking for honest reviews. Like I had 2 reviews yesterday but last week I was looking at my reviews because I was looking at content that I could share with you guys in regards to how you can never make people happy. You can't make everyone happy, right? You can only be yourself. And if people aren't happy with you, too bad. And if people are happy with that, great. Like you're going to become best friends. And so I saw 2 reviews of people being like, oh, just get to the point already. Like she just talks in circles and never gets to the point, blah, 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 blah. And it was like a 1-star review. And the other one was like a 1-star review as well. And it was like, oh, she's so full of herself. All she does is talk about herself. Well, who else would I talk about, right? Like I can only speak from experience, and I'm sorry, but my own life is my only experience. So therefore, of course, I'm going to talk about myself. But it's just so funny. Like I'm not looking for 5-star reviews, guys. I'm looking for honest reviews. If you truly love this podcast, of course, I appreciate the 5-star reviews. And really appreciate you guys for listening. And I have a gift for you always. All you have to do is leave a review, screenshot it before you submit it, because otherwise it's going to go into the abyss of iTunes and only show up later in some random order, never shows up in the right order for some reason. So take a screenshot proving that you did write something, and then submit it, of course, and then send that screenshot via email to hello@manifestationbabe.com and just put like, I'm requesting the manifestation hypnosis. And then my team will send you a link to it. And then all you got to do is download it. And then there's instructions there as well. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to listen to it once a day, every single day. And it's going to help you rewire your subconscious mind so that you can become a better, more powerful manifester. So enjoy that. And I hope you guys have an amazing day today. I will be here in my office recording some more episodes before my team gets here so we can record an episode with them. And I just wish you guys all the best and can't wait to hear from you about your takeaways from this episode. All right, see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't already following me on social media, come soak up the extra inspiration on Instagram by following @manifestationbabe or visiting my website at manifestationbabe.com. I love and adore you so much and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out there and manifest some magic.